Welcome to ConnectDevs, the world's smartest hiring engine.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we are talking about a totally new playbook for one of the biggest headaches in business, hiring. We're going to explore how AI is trying to fix that paradox of, being totally flooded with applicants, but still feeling like you can't find the right one.
If you've ever hired anyone, this quote probably hits a little too close to home. That feeling, it used to be excitement, right? But now, so often, it's just dread. You post a job and boom, it's an absolute avalanche of applications. You feel like you're drowning in resumes, but starving for actual quality. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with that feeling of drowning in resumes. Then we'll talk about why the old playbook is just broken. From there, we'll unpack a brand new 3-step workflow, look under the hood at how the AI agents actually work, and finally, cover the huge advantage you get from an intelligence-led approach. So yeah, let's start right there with the core problem. It's what our source material calls the modern hiring paradox. You've got this massive, overwhelming volume of people applying, but the quality, well, it's just not there. It's a huge mismatch. And this is the day-to-day reality for so many teams. Your system, your ATS, is just packed to the brim. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of resumes for just one job. But as you scroll and scroll, that sinking feeling comes back. Because even with all those numbers, it feels like there's nobody you can actually hire in the whole bunch. So why is this even happening? Well, here's the thing. It's probably not your team. It's the playbook you're being forced to use. The whole traditional hiring process, it was designed for a totally different time. And frankly, it's just completely failing to keep up with today's world. And this slide really breaks down why it's failing into 3 key points. First, you're just buried in noise. Job boards are amazing at sending you tons of resumes, but not a lot of value. Second, there's this new thing called the AI resume mirage. Candidates are literally using AI to make their resumes a perfect keyword match for your job description, which makes everyone look perfect on paper. And third, speed. The opportunity cost of being slow is just massive. While you're still trying to schedule calls, the best talent is already accepting another offer. And this right here, this is the real world cost. Every single hour you and your team spend trying to line up schedules, playing what the source calls calendar Tetris, that's an hour your competitors are building, shipping new features, and getting ahead. They're not just working harder, they're hiring smarter. So if the old way is so broken, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us to the solution. A new, super streamlined workflow. And this isn't about just making a few tweaks to that old 60-day checklist. No, this is about throwing it out and replacing it with something fundamentally different, an intelligence-led process. So the new playbook really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, you input what you need and get instant discovery. Second, there's automated AI screening. And third, you just review and decide. The whole idea here is to get rid of all that manual work and get you from a job wreck to decision-ready candidates, and to do it fast. I absolutely love this comparison because it just perfectly captures the huge shift in mindset. The old way was post and pray, right? You throw a job description out there and just hope the right person stumbles across it. The new way is describe and see. You simply describe what you're looking for, and the system shows you exactly who fits. It's proactive instead of reactive. And here's the best part. It all kicks off with simple, plain language. You don't have to be some kind of search engine wizard writing these crazy, complex queries anymore. You just say what you need, just like you would to a coworker. Hey, I need a senior backend engineer who knows Python and AWS. Simple as that. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does just saying what you need magically turn into a list of great candidates? Well, that brings us to the tech behind it all. Let's actually meet the AI agents that make up the intelligence layer that powers this whole new workflow. First off, let's just talk about the incredible scale we're dealing with. The system isn't just looking at the people who applied to your job. No way. It's scanning a massive global talent graph. We're talking a network of over 800 million professional profiles to find the absolute best fit. And that means it can find people who are actively looking, but also amazing passive candidates who haven't even thought about a new job yet. This is where the first agent, called Scout, comes into play. Think of Scout as your smart sourcing agent. It takes your simple description, figures out the intent behind it, the seniority level, the skills, the kind of work, and then it dives into that massive talent pool to find, match, and prioritize the very best candidates for you. Okay, so once Scout hands you that great shortlist, the next agent takes over. Meet Sam, the expert interview agent. So instead of you spending hours and hours on those repetitive first-round phone screens, Sam conducts structured asynchronous interviews to actually assess a candidate's skills and how well they communicate. Now, this whole asynchronous approach, it has some really powerful advantages. For the candidates, it's amazing. They get the flexibility to do the interview whenever it works for them. For you, it means you get a consistent, totally fair process where every single candidate gets the exact same role-specific questions. And the result? You get way deeper insights that go way beyond what's just on their resume. So Scout finds the people, Sam screens them, and now we get to the final piece of the puzzle, the intelligence-led advantage. This is where the process really changes the game because it shifts your decisions away from just subjective gut feelings and towards objective hard data. This is where you really get a strategic edge. So instead of a messy pile of notes from a dozen calls, Sam's interviews get turned into this clean, decision-ready report. This table shows you what you get: a clear technical assessment, an analysis of their communication skills, and, this is key, it flags any signals or concerns, basically specific areas you might want to dig into in that final human-led interview. And this right here just perfectly illustrates the difference in how you review people. The old way, you're trying to rely on your foggy memory from a bunch of different calls. The new way lets you compare candidates side by side based on the exact same criteria. It's objective, it's fair, and it actually scales. So when you put it all together, what's the real return here? Well, it's about moving from messy resumes to clean, decision-ready signals. It's about your team spending way less time scheduling and way more time on the important, high-impact conversations that actually matter. And ultimately, it's about treating hiring not like a checklist of tasks, but as a single, connected intelligence layer for your company. So this all really boils down to one last critical question for you to think about. When you look at your own team, at your own methods, and the time you spend, is your current hiring process truly an asset that's giving you a competitive advantage? Or has it maybe become a liability that's holding you back?